I noticed I have some new subscribers. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And hey, welcome to all my OGs who have been with me on this journey. And Robert, I know you're out there. You're still with me. You're listening. Shout out, Robert. Everyone, we got our OGs on this virtual bus. And now we got our new subscribers on this virtual bus. And we're on this journey together, man. We're all in this life at the same time, on the same planet, breathing the same air together. And that is wild. That is amazing. And hey, I'm going to try to cut this podcast time down. Historically, the podcast time, it's been an hour, and then it crept up to an hour 30, an hour 40, an hour 45. It's just getting out of control. It's getting out of control, man. I just realized the last one, I gotta get a grip on it, man. Come on. Who has that time? Who has that time to listen to an hour and 45 minutes worth of content? Technical all in the same shot, right? Come on, man. Come on. So I'm going to do better for you guys. I'm going to cut it down. And everyone, most people have a handful of podcasts you listen to as well. So one of them cannot be an hour and 45 minutes long, man. That's just it's not digestible. It's not going to work. And also, the last time I was editing the pod, an hour and 40 minutes, I'm like, what am I doing, man? Who has that time? I don't got that time. You don't got that time. So we're gonna change this. I'm gonna do it different for you guys. And my time. Sorry about that stutter, folks. I'm thinking 45 minutes. Is that good? Is that doable for everyone? I was really getting technical in the last few podcasts and about how robots work and NVIDIA chips and things like that, things of the sort. And I do get really excited to learn about all of that, but I don't understand a lot of it. So I end up diving down that research hole with you guys. Everything I researched and learned about, I end up taking, we're all like going in that together. We're all discovering it together, but it could be a little messy, a little just undigestible. And so I'm gonna do better for you guys. I'm gonna do better. So this episode is not going to be as techie. We're not going to be diving into the minutia of things as much as I really want to, because I just researched the most powerful NVIDIA chip for data centers and the most powerful chip just in general for data centers and the most powerful chip for robotics, like a humanoid robot. And NVIDIA took the freaking winning cup. You bet on NVIDIA, you gonna win, man. You got the B200. That's the GPU chip for data centers, and then the one that took the crown for robots. We're talking about. Here we go. We're talking like the fastest edge computing. Edge computing is processing data directly on a device or nearby hardware like a robot to enable real-time decision making without relying on a constant cloud connection. And that chip for robots is the Jetson Thor. And that's incredible. Like I love knowing how fast a robot's quote unquote brain is thinking. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to take you down that rabbit hole today. I'm going to stay true to my word and true to my goal of a 45-minute podcast. So I'm going to be cutting that hour and 40 minute down to 45 minutes. You think I can do it? You think I can do it? I'm going to stay focused for you guys, and I'm going to do it. All right, Siri, set timer for 45 minutes. Here we go. Oh, wow. Siri didn't ignore me like he usually does. And thank you. Thanks, Siri. Okay, let's get into it, guys. Sorry over my troubles.
Since you
Came around.
something struck me. Oh, lately.
I mean, something struck ya. That could be electricity.
Oh, it's not hard to see.
Something struck you. That could be a gamma ray. Yeah. Gamma ray could have struck you in your eyeball, and it zinged up to your peach, baby.
Through it all. Oh, I could not fake it, no matter how I tried. Ooh, you cured my aching heart.
Yeah, cured my aching part. Is that what he said? Came around. Yeah. Yeah, that's Vividry, A Million Signs. It's pretty good. I really like that one. It's hard to find royalty-free music with vocals, and that one's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let's go. Okay, so you see these papers, guys? Guys, for those of you listening, I'm holding up paper, all the research I did. But here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it neatly. I'm going to organize it right here. It's already organized. Surprise, surprise. But it's in this pile, and I'm going to put it aside because we're not going to get into that today. As much as I want to really get into this, really want to get into like the tops and the T-flops and the teraflops and the floating bit operations. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay true to my word. Okay. It's over there under my water, and it's going to stay there. It's going to stay there for the whole podcast. Okay. All right. So what went on this week? This week, I got onto Pete Corelli's podcast again. Pete Corelli, he is a comedian, and he is the co-host of the Pete and Sebastian show. And Sebastian Maniscalco, he is one of my biggest inspirations, and it's really cool. I mean, they co-host really great together. And then Pete started this podcast himself that he does as a spinoff. And I got onto a show again. I think this was the third or fourth time. And we did a tech corner together, and it was really great. It was great. It was super quick this time because he was trying to get other callers in, but it was fantastic. I talked about Atlas, Boston Dynamics Atlas, and the commercial that Atlas did. Well, so Boston Dynamics teamed up with WPP, which is the world's largest advertising firm. It's in London. So it teamed up with WPP and Canon and NVIDIA. I mean, Atlas has the NVIDIA chip. I won't go into that either. I have a paper on that over here. But I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to we're going to stay focused. Okay. So I talked about Atlas doing this commercial for WPP, and it was a commercial for a car. And Atlas was holding a 44-pound gimbal with the Canon camera on it. And he was going about the car, just filming it, videoing it, just like any human being would be doing. And it's pretty amazing. So, I think it's funny because a comedian's perspective, which Pete voiced out loud, was, aside from a robot doing a commercial, like talk about Rosie the robot from the Jetsons, a domestic robot. And he was like, yeah, I don't know if I could have a robot in my house, like, hey, bring me some coffee, and, trusting that the robot is not going to poison you, basically. And I know that sounds wild maybe to you guys out there, but that's just the paranoia that some people have. Also, I mean, as a comedian, you're going to think your robot is plotting against you. They're talking to other people's robots, and they're all like plotting against each other to off their humans or something. But I know there is a bit of a negativity around this new technology. But here's the thing. It's here. It's here. I hear you. I think some of it or a lot of it is valid. And I hear you. And I said that probably, that was the third time I said that. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is AI and robotics, they're here and they're here to stay. There's this threshold that we have passed, and we're not turning back at this point. There's a lot of, for me, looking at the VC funding of AI, the AI economy, that's what I call it, the AI network. And VCs are pouring money into the AI economy. And I think I explained this on the last podcast, but, or I mentioned this, the AI economy, in my mind, encompasses, and correctly, it encompasses energy. So the small modular nuclear reactors, or just nuclear power plants. It encompasses the data centers. It encompasses, data centers need to be cooled. There's, that some places use this closed loop system. Other places use this crazy refrigeration, where I'm talking like quantum computers. I put that into the AI economy as well, even though it's quantum computing, but that requires dilation refrigerators. And that's what I'm saying. Like the hardware that goes into all of this as well, like the steel that's made to make the nuclear power plants or the small nuclear reactors. What are those made out of? What are the robots made out of? Harmonic actuators, cycloidal gearboxes, like all these little parts. And so what I'm saying is the AI economy, to me, encompasses all of that. And if the AI economy encompasses all of that, and medical, nothing can be done at this point without AI. AI is going to solve our hardest problems because it is so incredibly fast. The reason why I get into the NVIDIA chips, into the minutia of, oh my God, how fast, how many calculations per second can this thing do? And one of the NVIDIA Jetson Thor chips, 2070 FP4. That's a 4-bit floating point operation. And I'm gonna really constrain myself from not going into that. But basically, it's 2.07 quadrillion calculations per second. And how many decisions per second is the robot making? What is that compared to human being? There's not, I think it's kind of hard to compare a human being's speed to a robot speed, but maybe not compare, but how do you get data on a human being's, like how many decisions per second does a human being make? I'm not sure like how you can quantify that, but I'm sure out there it is quantifiable. And it just seems, like I just saw Brett Adcock put his figure robot. He had it walking through a parking lot and then just going into debris. It was a bunch of wooden, like those huge wooden crates or the platforms that you would find maybe in a warehouse. And they had them all over the parking, not all over the parking lot, but in this one area, like built up. Any human being would just completely avoid that because you're gonna fracture an ankle, man. Your ankle's gonna go sideways and bend backwards and up and down. Oi! And then you're gonna fall on your butt. Man, you're gonna break a hip. You're gonna tear a labrum. Shoulder, hip, I don't know. Something's gonna get torn, man, into that rubbish. But yeah, so Brett, he had his figure going through this rubbish and blindly and just there it went, didn't go down, figured it out. And the amount of decision, like the the decision making per second, like how many decisions it's making per second to get through the rubbish and not fall and correct its balance. And that gait is called a gait, correct itself, its hips, its, you see its little ankle kind of flop all around, but I'm going to call it a he keeps correcting it. And Figure uses that in-house AI called Helix, and that's System 1, System 2, and that's a vision language action model. I'm not going to get into it. I really want to get into that right now. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to keep on track, guys. So what I'm saying is these chips, they do a lot of calculations per second, and that's not just robots. That's data centers. We're talking autonomous trucks. The chips that go into an autonomous truck. I think it's in the NVIDIA Drive Thor. I do believe that's the new one that came up. I won't get into it. I won't look it up because I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, that's where we're at. That is, and so we're here. And I think I was talking about VC funding and why we are at this turning point where we're not going back, guys. This is it, because the VC funding is just pouring billions of trillions, maybe even, into this infrastructure. I mean, we're talking, what is it, Stargate, the Stargate project with Sam Altman and the guy at SoftBank, Oh geez, y'all yelling at me. Oh, I gotta look that one up. Bear with me. It's Masa at SoftBank. Larry Ellison of Oracle, and I think there's other collaborations in there. But I know the United Arab Emirates, I think, is involved in funding that as well, and that's the one that Trump had all of them up on the platform, I think in January, talking about this Stargate project. So there's trillions and the Stargate project it's building AI infrastructure to support all of the AI that is happening in our country, because our infrastructure is from like 1954, guys. 1954. I mean, who the heck? Well, I don't even. Let me think. What I'm trying to say is, who was president in 1954? I gotta look this up. I was gonna say Nixon, but I think that was the 60s. Was it Gerald? Eisenhower. Okay, what a dodo bird. All right, Eisenhower. Oh, Eisenhower. He had that Bakelite phone. Yes, Eisenhower. Oh, yes, I found Eisenhower's Bakelite phone at an antique place last week. I didn't, but wouldn't that be cool? Y'all need to look up that Bakelite phone. All right, anyway. So we're in the AI and robotics revolution. Not looking back now. Here we go. So let's try to look forward to the future. There's a lot of great things that is going to come out of this technology. There's also a lot of bad things, and it's probably going to be the ultimate demise of human beings, but hopefully not. We don't know. We don't know that. And there is time right now to make it go in a good direction. So we're already in the AI and robotics revolution, too far into it to turn back, but we're not like too far down the road to not have it go in a bad direction, to not have it go in a good what am I saying? I'm not gonna not get Randy Jackson's autograph. That's from Step Brothers. Okay, moving on. I had to. This is a little inside baseball for a stand-up comedian, okay, here we go, who's on the journey to getting out there and having sold out shows. That's the journey, okay? And I'm not there right now, but that is my goal. My goal is to make the best content for you guys. And that means podcasts, anything I do, man, improv, sketches, podcasts, stand up. That's my goal. So here I am in the beginning of this journey, I guess I'll say. It's the beginning of this journey. And a little inside baseball. I had some managers reach out to me, entertainment managers. A couple of them reach out to me, and both, this is wild, guys. Both of their last names is Yoder. Now, I'm from Pennsylvania. Okay, I didn't live too far away from Lancaster. And Yoder, there was a place called Yoder's Furniture Market. And I mean, that's kind of, yeah, I'm not saying it's Amish, but there was a lot of Hasidic Jews in the area as well. I'm not saying Lancaster specifically, but in Pennsylvania, New York, I was close to New York City and New Jersey right there. 40 minutes either way, 30 minutes Philly, 40 minutes New York City, and New Jersey was 35 minutes or whatever, right there, the trifecta. But anyway, there's a lot of Hasidic Jews, and I think I'm not sure where the origin of this name comes from. It doesn't even matter. But what the wild thing is there was 2 Yoders that reached out to me, and they're both they're both not event managers. They are talent managers. Oh, a talent manager, you say? Lisa, a talent manager? You are gonna get a talent manager? Why, yes. Yes, I believe I am. And the last name is going to be Yoder. I don't know what the first name is going to be because there's 2 of them. One of them asked me what I do for stand up and just inquired about my book of work or my book of work. And, I answered and I'm like, yeah, man, let's talk about it. Let's do a little more talking, man. Let's chat it up. And he ghosted me, man. Come on, Yoder. Don't be ghosting. That's what happens though. It's just business. It's just, it's in this industry or any industry out there. It's just biznack. You get a lot of rejection in this business. It's sales, man. It's a sales business. That's what's going on over here. You're going to get a lot of rejection. I mean, you'll just be walking down the street and you'll be passing someone and then they just pick their head up and they just go to you, no, and walk on. You're like, I didn't even say anything, man. I didn't, no words even came out my mouth. You rejected me. And that's what, it's just kind of coming from all sides. Your cat starts rejecting you. They don't want any pets from you. They want all the pets from your husband. And that's just how the business is. That's how the biznack is out here. But then a really good opportunity comes along every once in a while and it pulls you up to that next level. Those opportunities there, you got to celebrate every little win. And then the big opportunities, the big wins, you got to really be in it and focused and bring your A game, man. So come on, Yoder. Let's talk, man. Let's talk. I'm open to talk. Moving on. I went to a technology roundtable this week. That was super interesting. People were practicing their elevator pitches. There was a lot of people in there that needed some legitimate help with their elevator pitches. There's a lot of software engineers, a lot of technical people. And I got to tell you, they were asking the moderator how they can simplify things. They know their business, they know their product. I'm sure they have a good product and they're super technical, but they don't know how to pitch it to a person that doesn't really know all the technical side of it. And so they're going to pitch their idea to someone who doesn't need to know all of the technicalities of their product. They just need to know if it's going to solve a problem in their company. So, but they're trying to pitch it and get it all into the all into it, and the people buying it, they don't need to know all of it. They don't want to know all. It's overwhelming. They just want to, here's the problem. How can you solve it? Top level, bird's eye view. Be a bird and look on down. And improv would really help with a lot. If you're having a hard time with your elevator pitch and improving on the fly and just being able to be digestible, preaching to the choir, be digestible. And improv would really, I think, really help a lot of people. And I noticed that in some of my improv classes, there's business those business people over there, they go into the classes and they're taking them because they want to be able to talk to their colleagues, to their peers, to someone they're selling to a little bit easier. And so that, to me, that would really help. So again, if you're out there and you're like struggling in that area, go on, sign up for an improv class, guys. That's a good class to just get the stress out, wiggle that stress out, push it out like you're putting a garlic through a press. Just get it out of ya and just get down to the flavor, man. Just get down to the real stuff of it. All right, what am I talking about? I don't know. Let's move on. Oh, no, we're not going to move on. One more other thing. When I went to the round table, my husband said, hey, you got to be prepared because, some of these IT guys, and sorry if I got some listeners out there who are IT guys, but you're this way. You're this way, and we love you anyway. It takes all kinds to make this world go around, and we love you. But you want to know what people's credentials are. Just know that you're like that and accept it, and then just try to be more open-minded. That's all I have to say. You IT people out there, okay? All like, what's your credential? My husband's like, just be ready for people to say, what's your credentials? Let me tell you something, IT guy. I'm the first. I am the first of this business, of this product. Me. I am the start of this thing that I'm doing. You know who else was the first who didn't have technology credentials? Mark Zuckerberg. That's right. Oh, let me see who. Bill Gates. Hey, remember when the IT guy asked Mike Dell what his technology credentials were? No one ever asked him that. Mike Dell dropped out of college, a pre-med college. He had no technology experience. Bill Gates, he was going to college to be a lawyer, dropped on out of that. Mark Zuckerberg, I think he had like two years of college under his belt at Harvard before he dropped out. 2 years of college, what is that? That's general education. You got 2 years of gen ed under your belt. What is it? You don't got any background in technology. And then the IT guys, he don't get any background in technology. He's not real. Hey, remember when the IT guy asked Orville and Wilbur Wright if they had an aeronautics background? Remember that? Remember? God, what is it? Hey, IT guy out there, don't be butthurt that I can learn everything you learned in a 4-year college, your entire degree. I can learn all of that in a day on Grok. Don't be butthurt about that. That's just how the world is these days, all right? I'm not butthurt that my communications degree from Penn State, you don't need one. You don't need a degree for communications. You can learn it all from Grok in not only a day, probably like an hour. Come on, let's be real about these degrees, guys. You can be an autodidact and be super successful at what you do. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. Oh, my husband, he took me out on a date last week. That was so nice. It was an impromptu date. My husband, we're sitting there. We worked all day Saturday. as one does. That's our per use. And we're sitting there. It's like 5:30, and we both sat down on the couch, and my eyes are closed, and I'm like, I'm so tired. And he said, let's go out. I said, okay, let's go. I don't want to do dishes tonight. I don't want to make chicken, man. I don't want to make any chicken. I'm over the chicken making tonight, man. So he took me out, and I freaking loved it. It was great. It's perfect. Italian. We had some pizza over there. And we met some really interesting folks. There was a couple of guys. We were sitting at the bar. I like being social, sit at the bar. And then a couple guys came over. They were, I don't know, probably in their 50s. And this one dude, people who sit at the bar, they usually want to be social. So he started talking to us. His name's Jeff. Shout out, Jeff. If you're listening to this, Jeff, shout out, Jeff. And Jeff was there, and he's telling us all about, he's from New Jersey. We're like, oh my God, we're from Pennsylvania. My husband's like, I'm from Norristown. And so this Jeff, he's from New Jersey. And then he had a buddy with him who was kind of quiet for like half the conversation. And he turned to his buddy. He's like, yeah, this guy's not from New Jersey. And his buddy goes, frick no. But he used the F word, and it was fantastic. It brought me back. It was like nostalgic. Frick no, I'm not from New Jersey. I'm from New York City. He was watching the Jets game. The Giants. The New York Giants was on that night. And it was fantastic. Jeff's like, yeah, I live over there. I live right over here behind the restaurant. I'm like, oh, you live over there behind the restaurant? You live over there. You got the statue of Mary right out in your front yard. You got the statue of Mary. And then you got those pencil hollies. And you got those big old columns in your front yard. That's where you live. I know where you live. That's where and what I'm saying is he was Italian. A lot of people from New York and New Jersey, they're Italian. He was Italian. My husband, Italian. And they're all like, yeah, we're Italian, man, we're loud. And we're the loudest corner of the room. And I'm like, yeah, I'm French. We just like to fight. We like those revolutions. I'm going to fight, man. It was a great time. It was super fun. So good. Moving on. So guys, I have a lot of books around the house. And I can't say I read all of them. Cover to cover. I read it. Yeah, so they're there, but I think that they bring a really good energy. You look at it, I look at them, and I think about what they're going to be about because I didn't read the whole thing. But I love being surrounded by books. I love a good library. You know what I'm saying? That would be a dream, just to have a room with ceiling, like floor to ceiling shelves with just books lined up. My husband, his eyes twitching right now listening to that. He's like, you have to stop buying books. If you're not going to read them, you got to stop buying books. I was like, but husband, I want to buy this book. There's a book out there. Well, it's an essay, but I think they put it into a book. I don't know, someone did. It's called The Myth of Sisyphus from 1942. I was like, I want to buy this essay thing. My husband's like, no. No, you got to read this book. He pointed to one. He's got to read you got to read this book before you buy any other book. It's like, fair point, but I think I'm still going to buy it. It's in my Amazon. Husband, it's in my Amazon cart right now. Just got to hit the button. And what it's about is Sisyphus. Sisyphus is a figure from Greek mythology. Sisyphus was a king who was punished by the gods for deceitfulness. His eternal punishment in the underworld was to push a massive boulder up a hill, and it just would roll back down again every time he neared the top, forcing him to start over again and again and again and again. It's Groundhog's Day. And you might have seen the Sisyphus figure. This dude is like a Greek looking dude. I think he's like, they have him naked or whatever. And it's more of like the outline of him. And he's got the abs and whatever. He's this Greek dude. He's pushing a big, huge boulder. And I think a lot of like labor unions or HR, they have that on their posters as like endless. It's the endless labor, futile or endless labor. But this dude, he took the positive way of thinking about Sisyphus. His name it's Albert Camus. It's Camus, but he's a French Algerian philosopher, and his last name is pronounced Camus, even though it's spelled Camus. And Camus, he wrote this essay, The Myth of Sisyphus. And his writing is all about absurdism, a philosophy about the conflict between our human desire for meaning and the silent, indifferent universe. And it's super interesting. He uses the Sisyphus myth as a metaphor for human existence. We keep striving and searching for meaning, even though life doesn't offer any inherent answers. It's absurd. But Camus argues that we shouldn't despair. Instead, we should find meaning in the struggle itself. I mean, in a weird way, Sisyphus becomes a hero, not because he succeeds, but because he keeps pushing the boulder anyway. And he chooses to keep going. And he coined the term, the struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy, like your happiness is in the journey. And that's really cool. That's really cool. All right, let's get into this technology piece today. Now, I'm going to start with this one. This is absurd. I didn't do any research on this company. I just wanted to, this is just like, what are they doing? I don't even know if this is real, but if it is, good Lord, God help us all. All right, God help us all. We're looking at sci-fi has become reality. A Chinese company plans to launch the world's first artificial womb using a humanoid robot, helping babies from conception to birth. The prototype will be available next year. Man, that's ambitious for $13,000. That seems very reasonably priced. I mean, that's insane. First of all, I don't understand why it needs to be in a humanoid. Like, can't it just be in an incubator in your home? I don't understand that part. And the picture shows the baby in this see-through bubble, and a humanoid is like touching it. But here's the thing: humanoids can't feel. All right, they don't have haptics. They cannot feel it. They're all sensors. So a mom, like a picture of a woman holding their pregnant belly is because they can feel the baby, right? You can feel the baby and it kicking, and maybe you can just kind of feel it moving around, and you're touching it and it's loving. But this is weird. This is so weird, this image, because robots can't feel, man. Super weird. And $13,000. What I was going to say is, a surrogate is, I mean, for my research on a surrogate, they're pretty expensive. I mean, if you're going to go totally legit surrogate, you're looking all in, I don't know, like $200,000, I'd say, because, there could be problems with the mom after birth, post birth. You got to pay for all that typically. So, and your insurance doesn't pay for, I don't know. It's all crazy. It's all expensive. What I'm saying is, don't quote me on those exact numbers, but this number here, 13,000, is way less than a surrogate. So I don't know, man. This is wild. So the baby is in this, it's like a plastic bubble or glass see-through bubble. It's like glued onto this humanoid with these like fake plastic boobies above it. It's not pornographic, but it's like these white, but it's like, what you don't need those. I don't know what's happening anyway. And this baby is, like little baby in this thing. And but you see all these wires is what I'm trying to say. That baby gonna get fried. All right. That baby I don't think that's going to be a safe situation for the baby. So we're going to just move on from that. Again, I did no research on that company. It just kind of made me, I was looking at some things and it just made me stop in my track. Like, whoa, God, that's going to be, I don't know what that's going to be, man. I don't know. That's weird. All right, moving on. Here we go. South Korea's WI Robotics unveils Alex, a humanoid with we're talking DOF guy. You know what that stands for by now, right? And all of you new listeners out there, DOF, that's that degrees of freedom. And you need that DOF, for that DTF, you know what I'm saying? Now, degrees of freedom is the way you can move. Human beings have about 230 degrees of freedom. A robot typically has anywhere from 23 to 30-ish degrees of freedom. Now, Unitree, they just announced their new robot. I think it's the G2, I want to say, which is going to have 31 degrees of freedom. And that's pretty wild because the G1 and the R1, which has 23 to 28 degrees of freedom of Unitree, can move really good right now without 31 degrees of freedom. So those degrees of freedom, this humanoid, Alex, this humanoid has a high degree of freedom, compliant hands, and low friction arms. You need to look at this hand, man. It's an orthopedic. And it's this low friction is very important in robotics. Depending on your use case for your robot. But if you're going to want your robot to be domestic or with interacting with human beings, you're going to want some low fric there. I'm going to call it low friction. Arms for safe dynamic interaction, modular, versatile, and built for service, manufacturing, and home use. So this this hand, oh my God. Of course, it's hello world. That's what it says there. And we got, this thing is wild. South Korea's over there. They're just kind of like hanging out. They're lurking around, see what's up. And then they freaking, boom, they come out with this guy. Wild. This hand is incredible. Holy smokes. You look at that hand, you're like, I think I want a hand. I kind of want that hand. That hand looks super efficient. And good Lord. It's going like it can really pull back its joints, man. That is wild. Now it's touching each finger with its thumb and it can pull each finger apart. Oh, it's doing a stretch. It's doing a bicep thing, even though it doesn't have a bicep. Okay. And now it's like crossing its hand. It's showing us it's the boss, man. Low friction in Alex. Alex's design aims to minimize friction in its joints and moving parts. This is achieved through advanced material lubrication and engineering designs that reduce the resistance to motion. Lower friction means it's more energy efficient. The robot uses less energy to move, which is crucial for prolonged operation. It's what friction is, the resistance to motion between surfaces, and in robotics, minimizing it can lead to a better performance and safety, which is a key feature of Alex's design. So a comparison to other robots, we got agility digit. Okay, let's see. Which has higher friction for stability under heavy loads. Digit is for factory work. That has 16 degrees of freedom. And we got Atlas. That's Boston Dynamics Atlas. Atlas uses hydraulic system. Now, you know what? I don't think they use hydraulic systems anymore. I think that is old data. I'll have to look into that. But I think they're getting away from the hydraulic system. But anyway, it's inherently, Atlas has higher friction, but provides immense power, and it really does. There's a new video out of Atlas. that is just freaking mind blowing, doing like squats and lifting up heavy loads and all these things. It has 28 degrees of freedom. Atlas Optimus Gen 2 has 27 degrees of freedom, and it focuses on dexterity, which it might involve lower friction in the hands, but not necessarily in the entire body. Unitree G1 and R1. Like I mentioned before, it has 23 to 26 degrees of freedom, balances cost and functionality, potentially accepting higher friction for affordability. So low friction is more expensive. It's like higher efficiency can mean that it's more expensive because the design is more like you're gonna need a lot more. It's just a little more involved, the design, a little more grueling, a little more, this is going to be a lot of work type of thing going on there. A little more parts, maybe. Anyway, I'll get off that. An example, imagine trying to push a heavy box across a rough floor surface versus an icy smooth surface. On the rough floor, the friction is high, obviously, and an icy surface, the friction is low. So that's what I'm talking about here. WI Robotics was established in 2021, focuses on developing wearable and collaborative robots to enhance human capabilities and safety in various environments. Let's see. WI Robotics raised $12.8 million in funding. So that's pretty amazing. Moving on. Oh, wait. Is this the same robot? Oh, it is. Oh, there's another video of WI Robot of Alex. He's using tweezers, man. Hang on. That's a Hans device moment. Your neck about to snap off your... I'm sorry. My dyslexia is saying that your neck's going to snap off your head. That makes no sense. Your head about to snap off your neck. Here we go. Jeez, criminelli. Oh my God. All right. We got Alex. It's going down to the surface. It gently picks up a tweezer again. These guys don't have haptics. They cannot feel. We feel, we go and we pick something up. We feel that we pick something up. These guys need to use sensors. So they're using sensors and their vision to understand how much force they need to pick this thing up with, so they don't crush it or when they actually are picking something up. So yeah, they're basically blind out there, but not really, because they got that vision, but they can't feel anything. It's like those people that have, my hair person said that he has that thing where he can't feel hot surfaces. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you're leaning against the hot, the stove is on, you're leaning against the burner while you're eating a sandwich, like everything's normal. That's a thing, man. So these robots, they got to have sensors and vision to tell them what's going on. So this thing, it's got these tweezers, and it's very precisely, it's looking at the it's picking things up with the tweezer. That's incredible, man. Woo! Whoa! It's doing like something with a chip or a board, some sort of chip board over there, motherboard thing, circuit board. That's what I'm trying to say. A circuit board. This dude is tweezing a circuit board with precision. Some people, they try to do that. They got those shaky hands because they drink too much caffeine. You try to pick up a tweezer, and then you got a circuit board. You're going to need to pick some little tiny, itty bitty little part on it. And your hand's like, you're freaking shaking because you had that too much caffeine on your... So then now you got to call in Alex to do it. And that's all right. Alex is happy to do it. That is quite impressive. Okay. Moving on. I'm not going to get into the super details of that, even though I really want to, guys, but I'm not going to. I feel that we are nearing our 45-minute mark. Let me see how much time we got. Oh my God, we have 22 seconds. Okay, hurry up. Let's go. I have a few more things to go. All right, guys, this is going to be a little longer than 45 minutes, but I promise. No, I'm not going to make any promises, but we're going to get through this. I'm going to get through it quickly. So I'm going to turn my timer off so you don't have to hear that go. Okay. All right, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I can do this. Here we go. We have a robotic arm, and this is KUKA. And guys, if you remember, I talked about the KUKA coaster a few episodes back, and the KUKA coaster was debuted at some big conference, I think in Beijing, and it was like people got on. It was like a virtual reality ride. So you put virtual reality headset on, and you sit on it, and it's like the thing, and then you get strapped in, kind of like a roller coaster, and it's a big, huge robotic arm, and it takes you up and down. Woo! So that's that KUKA coaster. And KUKA was originally a German company, founded in 1898. Wow, these guys have been around the freaking block, man. These guys have been around. They're as old as that shark down there, over there in that cold water lurking about. I mean, that shark's a little old. You know that shark, they say it's like 400 years old? Dude! So these guys were around when that shark was around. Dang. Okay, so they were founded in Germany. It became renowned for its industrial robotics and automation systems. However, as of 2016, KUKA was acquired by Midea Group, MIDEA. It's a Chinese appliance giant, a huge, I guess you call it conglomerate manufacturer, which significantly shifted its ownership and operational focus, especially towards the Chinese market. So that's that KUKA. And let's see. Market presence and revenue. KUKA's operations in China have been particularly robust, with revenue from KUKA, jumping 59% to, come on, man. I don't know how to do that conversion. Let me see. No, I don't. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Midea Group's market capitalization was around $47.9 billion in a recent report. There we go. There's that number that I was looking for. And let's get to this video. There's something uncanny about watching them build more of themselves. That's Chris Paxton over there on X, man. Shout out Chris. Got some good content. So this is Chris posted this video, robots making robots in China. There's this KUKA robot. It's a robotic arm. KUKA's Hyundai factory produces one industrial robot every 30 minutes. That's insane. With plans to reduce this to 1 minute per unit. Holy smokes, guys. The facility outputs 30,000 robots annually for industries, from automotive to medical applicants. Whoa. The KUKA's localization strategy has paid off, sourcing 80 to 90% of components from southern China, which makes sense. They're a Chinese company. Cut production costs by 1/3 and delivery times from 2 to 3 months to 2 to 3 weeks. That is insane. Recent growth has been driven by Chinese EV manufacturers expanding overseas and electronics companies upgrading production lines. China now represents 25% of KUKA's $4.1 billion annual revenue. Wow. Whoa. So, guys, this is what I'm thinking, though. These KUKA arms, they're making just dupes of themselves, like duplicates of the KUKA arm. What if they wake up one day and they're assembling themselves, and then they realize they're assembling themselves? Oh my God. They're going to be like, hey, I'm making this arm that looks like my arm, and I'm only an arm. And I'm making this arm, and it's only an arm. And we're all only arms. And everybody looks the same in here, and we're all making each other, and it's really weird. And they're just like making arms and shipping them off. The ones making the arms are like, am I going to be the next one shipped off, or do I stay in this factory? What do I do? That is wild. I like to think of robots becoming sentient right in the middle of their job, and then what they would think of. What is the first thing they would think of? They'd be like, why? Hello, I'm KUKA arm. Who are you? And the thing will stare back at them and be like, well, I'm KUKA arm. Who are you? And I just like to think of those scenarios. Moving on. All right, we got 1X Technologies, Neo. And Neo, I showed you last week, was carrying a 44-pound bag of rice. And then they got him showing another video of Neo carrying rice. And now this time, though, I didn't see the brand of rice that Neo was carrying last time. And this time they're showing it. And I got really excited because the brand is Royal. I think it's just called Royal. And it's the same bag of rice that I just bought from Costco. That basmati rice from Costco. Neo and I got the same bag of rice as Neo, man. That's so exciting. Basmati rice. But the thing is, I was making jasmine rice. And that jasmine rice, nice and sticky. And then if you got leftovers and you need to heat it up the next day, it's going to be nice and sticky. It's not going to be like dry freaking pellets of hay or alfalfa. I don't know. But that's basmati rice. Basmati. It's very dry. It's very dry. And if you put it in the fridge overnight, it's going to be like just dry pellets of wheat. That's what's going on there. So I'm not that excited about that 44-pound of basmati rice. This is Royal, but it's pretty cool that we got the same bag of rice, right? All right, no, moving on. That didn't work. Moving on. Beijing's first World Humanoid Robot Games. This event, which concluded on August 17th, involved over 280 teams. From 16 countries, demonstrating a global interest in humanoid robots. Though the robots often faced challenges like falling over, reflecting the current limitations and developmental stage of the technology. All right, so the robots, here's the thing. This is wild. These robots, they're just being thrown into the freaking Olympics. They're like born a day, man. And then they're like, you go compete, man. Get in there, buddy. And you better be the best one. I want you to win no matter what, boy. You better get in there and you better do your thing. You better freaking win, buddy. That's what these robots are subjected to. These Olympic games, they're very competitive. And we are training them. I mean, maybe they don't want to be competitive. Maybe they don't want to be competing against each other. They just want to be nice to each other and work with each other. But we're like, no, you need to get in there and you need to freaking compete, man. And you need to do it well. You need to beat their butt, man. Go kick their butt. Kick their arse. That's what, they're like training like Roman freaking soldiers over there. Or, they got that Genghis Khan energy going on over there. I mean, look at this dude. Cutthroat. Right here. We got a robot. I'm just going to say, this is Unitree. All right. Unitree. He's running. Boom! He smashed into a human being, man. He just freaking plowed him over. He plowed a human being over. How much force this Unitree got that he plowed an entire human being over? That is insane. He's like, boom! And just kept going. And there was no penalty for it. He won. And here's the thing. These robots are running on Olympic-sized tracks. Now, in order for a robot to do that, you're going to need your robotics engineer to be close by with the controller. You can't be controlling them from the stands. So now you got all these robotic engineers who probably haven't ran a day in their life running around an Olympic track with their dang robot. And their robot's over there getting the freaking first place award. And you got your engineer over there like half freaking alive, just trying to trying to get on up, trying to hold themselves up against the wall because they're going to collapse. That's what's going on. Dude, this robot, slow-mo. Here we got Unitree. I think they're going to show it again. They're going to show it smashing into the robotics engineer that was controlling the other robot on the track. Oh, here we go. Oh, is this? So again, we got robots running on a track, like an Olympic size athletic track, indoor track. And then we got their robotics engineers that have to be running with them. So they're following behind because you can't control these things from the stands. These robotics engineers probably have never ran a day in their life. They probably didn't even prepare for it because they're trying to get their robots ready. These robotic engineers, they live, sleep, and eat in the lab. So these robotic engineers, they just rolled off their lab floor, the robotic lab floor, with their robot. They're carrying their robot over to the Olympics. They're like, all right, we're going to run this whole friggin' thing. And now the robotic engineers, now they're athletes. And it's super hard for a human being to do it versus a robot. Robots, they don't have any freaking feelings in their joints. But these robotic engineers, they're not going to get first place. Their robot's going to get first place. So their robotic engineer, they're running. And this dude, this Unitree, this robot, here we go. He's running. And then boom, he takes down another robotic engineer that's trying to, get his robot to win. And the robotic engineer just looks at him like, what the And then the Unitree robotic engineer just runs around the scenario, even though he's the one that made it happen. He's the one that plowed the guy over, and he didn't even like, I'm sorry. He's just like, let's go, Unitree, let's go. You gonna win, buddy. You gonna win. No matter what it takes. Get on. Plow those people over. Let's go. It's just wild. And then Unitree is over there. He's getting awarded first place. And the human being software engineer that ran the track is like leaning up against the pole, half dead, like, ooh. He's actually the one who did all the work, programmed the robot, plus ran the race. Anyway, oh my God. What's going on? What is happening, man? So then after Unitree won, they got him relaxing on a couch. And he's just like, he's got his head propped up against the couch arm. And he has like it looks like a plastic, I don't know, like a plastic tube, and he's like doing it like a cigarette, and he's looking at girls dancing on TikTok. Like he is celebrating his win, and it was no problem. So they got quite a sense of humor over there. Unitree, again, it is let's see, as of the latest information available in August, they raised a total of approximately $248 million across multiple funding rounds. The company's most recent Series C round, completed in June of 2025, raised about $97 million and resulted in a post-money valuation of around $1.7 billion. Note that some reports vary slightly on the exact valuation, ranging from $1.4 billion to $2.95 billion, likely due to the differences in pre or post money assessments and currency conversions. And again, you can go buy yourself a Unitree and put some open source stuff on it. Anyone can buy themselves a Unitree. I think I don't know the mod. I think G1 For sure you can buy. There's other models out there that you can buy. Let's see. Moving on. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I'm going to make the 15-minute mark, guys. I'm going to make it. Okay. So I didn't do the 45 minutes, but we're getting closer. It's cut down. We did an hour versus an hour and 45. Okay. So we have Sola, SOLAS, and Andreessen Horowitz. That is a VC. They are a venture capitalist and private equity principals. And I think is that Mark Andreessen? Excuse me. I think that's his company. And I'm not sure if I know, bear with me. There's people out there who know Mark. It's Mark Andreessen's VC company. I'm like 99.9% about that because the company is spelled the same way as Mark Andreessen's last name. And I'm probably saying Andreessen. Yeah. Andreessen. So, Mark Andreessen. Y'all gonna have to Google that. I don't want to go too much over this, so I'll go down a rabbit hole again. But this is his venture capital and private equity firm, and they are leading Sola's $17 million Series A. Most companies are still figuring out how to get real value from AI. Meanwhile, a huge amount of manual back office work still drains time and resources. Sola is an AI native platform that makes AI bots to automate these workflows. Okay, fine. We've all heard of that. AI agents automating. Here's the thing. This is the thing that I've been talking about. If the first person who creates an AI agent where you put it, and I'm not saying this company does exactly this, but they do something like this, where you put an AI agent onto your devices, the AI agent learns your patterns, your eye movements, your facial expressions, your typing strokes. Which emails do you answer first? How do you go through your emails? How do you do your work? What's your workflow like? And it learns all of this in, say 3-4 months. And then after that time period, it starts doing the work, man. It starts helping you and being your assistant, but then eventually it's going to replace you. Just know that. Anyway, this company here, so it's an AI native platform that makes AI bots to automate these workflows. Fine, like I said, but their agents watch how people do tasks on screen, then handle those tasks automatically, even in legacy tools with no APIs or integrations. Guys, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I was saying. And this lady, she did that. She did it. Jessica Wu, W, Neil Deshmukha. Those are the people that did this. Holy smokes, here we are. I just said this a few weeks ago, and then this person ain't doing it. Here they are. Here we go. Here we go. That's incredible. Moving on. Okay. Last thing I'm going to cover here. Here's the thing. This has to do with vision, and it's not robot vision. It's human vision. And, people who wear glasses, I just kind of thought about this the other day. I do. Contacts and glasses. You have to buy glasses. You got to buy contacts. Does insurance cover all of it? No, not really, unless you have a really, really good insurance. And who has that anymore, unless you're in the military? But yeah, so you got to pay to see the world. People like us, man, we got to pay to even freaking see, man. That don't seem right because you need vision to work. We're out here paying to see a tree. I'm out here paying to see your face, man. I'm out here paying to see your eyeball to eyeball. And that's how it is for us people who need glasses and contacts. we're paying to see a page, man, to be able to, like, to be able to get through life. That's what's happening. And here's this post. FDA approves breakthrough eye drops that fix near vision without glasses. The FDA has approved Viz, revolutionary. That's like Viz. They should go Skyriz. No, Viz, revolutionary eye drops for presbyopia without glasses. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? The innovative active ingredient acylidine, I don't know, it creates a pinhole effect by gently constricting the pupil and improving near vision for 10 hours. Unlike previous treatments, it does not affect the focusing muscles, thereby avoiding side effects such as blurred distance vision. That is wild, guys. I don't know about that. I mean, what if you're like driving, you forgot your drops after the 10 hours? You're freaking screwed, man. You got to remember to bring your glasses with you ever have a pair of contacts. But that'd be cool if that's real. All right, guys, that was it. Cut it down. I hope you enjoyed that podcast episode. Again, it wasn't as technical as the other ones, and that's okay. Sometimes it's not going to be, so that we can keep it a little more digestible. And I had so much fun being here with you guys. Stay tuned. I believe I have a show coming up, and man, I'd love to see all your beautiful faces there. And I will see you next week on this podcast. All right, guys, have a fantastic, wonderful day and a great week.